Oh my goodness. That is just a mess. Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your Better Together devotion for today. And today I wanted to show you the mess that our table is because we've been worshiping outside and we've kind of left the inside table a little bit of a mess from Palm Sunday and Easter and the other Sundays. There's even remnants of a flower. There's a sermon manuscript from a few weeks ago. We haven't been cleaning up our mess. And so, what does that have to do with love and loving one another? Well, here's what it has to do with love and loving one another is that when we start understanding God's love and God's love for us, and we start loving God, when we start understanding the definition of a neighbor and the least of these, and when we look at our own heart of hearts and start thinking about how we need to change and doing missions of mercy and advocating justice, when we do all that, it leads to cleaning up the mess. It leads us to being a part of the salvation solution God has for this world. We become, as our baptismal liturgy says, a part of God's work of salvation in this world. We become a part of love being something that changes dramatically the entire world which we live. It's amazing to me, anywhere I've gone, how a baby's smile makes everybody else feel better. It does, doesn't it? Think about it. When a baby smiles, everybody else goes, "Aww." Or it amazes me that when a little puppy comes up to you and that tail's just a wagging, that you automatically you feel better. You want to pet him. You want to let him lick your face, all that good stuff. Or when you hear, my wife and I were walking the other night and we heard a cat meow. And in that meow, we could hear, "Take me home," that kind of thing. And it made our heart go, "Aw." Those are the moments when our world is changing. When there's something within us that connects with someone else. There's something within us that connects with everything around us, the whole cosmos, the very creation that God made. This love that God gives us is so big, so dramatically overwhelming, the psalmist called it a cup that runneth over. This love changes everything. And if we allow it, it cleans up the mess that we've made out of this world. We start looking at some of the problems that we have in our world a little differently. Instead of seeing people with the color of their skin or with the uniform that they're wearing, we see them as people, and we love them, and we care for both of them. Instead of seeing people in power, we see them as human beings who have the same struggles and thoughts and aches and pains that we do, and we love them. Instead of seeing the powerless, those that are stuck in a situation where they owe way too much bills and they feel like they have to break the rules just to get by, we don't see them as welfare, or we don't see them as some other label, indigents. We see them as people. We see them as children of God. And we start changing the world so that all of these people start feeling more connected and better within God's kingdom. If we're going to be the church, the biggest lesson we've got to start learning, most important thing we've got to start paying attention to is that Jesus didn't come here to say, "Hey, this is good. Let's keep it just like it is." Jesus never said that. Instead, Jesus said, "This is a place of pain. This is a place where people are chained, where people are told they can't speak, where prisoners are thrown in prison in unjust ways. It's time for jubilee. It's time for release. It's time for salvation. It's time for us to learn to love one another. And by doing so, that changes the world, and it revives, renews, resurrects, recreates everything. Not to mention, cleans up the mess too. This is Pastor Nathan Decker encouraging you today to refresh yourself within God's love so that you can love everyone. Your neighbor, the least of these, all those you encounter today. Change your world through love. Amen.